Wait, these are the fucking sunglasses I wore to water parks. when John from water parks fucking watched me pass out on the stairs and then ignored me. Legitimately
Hey,
walked
you okay?
me.
All right.
Straight up didn't even ask me if I was okay. Like I fully was passed out, and he went, and then he walked back up the stairs, stared at me, watched me fall, and then just. I was like, okay, man.
I love
thanks.
that. Are you gonna do the whole episode with those sunglasses
Honestly,
on?
I
You might as
fucking-
well. You're
I
already
might.
this far in.
Oh my god, this is so fun because then you can look and be like, hey guys, I'm actually evil. I'm evil Gia.
Yeah, I'll keep the light on. Why not? Well, that's a solid intro. Hey, everyone, welcome back to the Silly Goofy podcast.
Wow, I'm so silly goofy.
Totally serious. Yeah, this is the perfect intro. Perfect.
Oh fuck yeah!
Literally
we
just
in the business of misery.
We are so back. Is that what? There's. All right, I sound like a boomer. Is that like a new saying? I don't fucking know.
It's a Paramore song.
Oh, is it? It's like.
I'm in the business of misery.
Oh no, I know
Take it
about
from the
I know
top.
about misery business. Yeah, I'm talking
Yeah.
about like the we are so back.
Oh, we are
thing.
so back. Yeah, we're so back. It's so over. We're so back. Suicide postponed. Suicide rescheduled. Like.
That's something that I didn't know about. All right, well, now that we did an intro technically already, today I have my friend Gia's here. This is episode number 3.
Oh my god.
You're guest number 3.
Yay.
So why don't you say who you are, what you do, anything like that.
All right, cool. I'm Gia. I am a teacher's aide, so I work with children all the time.
Nice.
24/7. Parents, I understand your struggles. And
You do music too, though,
I
right?
do.
Yeah,
I
okay.
play bass.
Nice.
And I'm trying to put together a project. We actually just cleared our music room out at my dad's house, so
Nice.
hopefully I will be able to start singing again, which I'm very
Nice.
excited about.
I just thought of. I know it's not. I'm not gonna do it, but I just thought of the thing from Step Brothers. Where it's like, I can sing. I'll sing right now. And yeah.
I name 100 birds. No one wants to hear about your birds, Brennan. Please.
So you said you have been in bands and everything. When did you? I have questions.
Oh
I'm
my
reading.
God.
I'm actually reading off questions. I'm kind of professional.
Oh my God.
So you've been playing in bands. Like, when did you first start? When did you first start making music?
Oh my god. Like right away. Like
you came out of the womb. Like,
I came out of the
with a
room
bass?
with a guitar in hand, just shredding like Flea. No, I very young because
Okay.
my father's a musician.
Okay.
So growing up, it was just a constant thing in my life, and my dad was always trying to get me to play bass. I remember being 6 years old, and he brought me into his music room, and he was like, "Hey, I want to show you something. Hold this," and he handed me his heavy ass bass, and he was like, "How does that feel?" And I was like,
Heavy.
yeah, I was like, not great. And he's like, okay. And I wanted to play guitar, and he plays guitar, but he was like, I really want you to play bass. And for some reason, it stuck like all the
It's
time.
like living vicariously through you.
Oh yeah. Which is so funny because he was in a bunch of bands. He has a CD. I don't. I was going to.
I think you told me about that. I think you
Yes,
told
yeah.
me at one point. Somebody was like, "Yeah, my dad was it in like a punk band or a
He
hardcore
was.
band or
He
something?"
was in a couple bands.
Okay. Okay, so I definitely remember that then because I remember you telling me about that and me being like, "That's fucking rad."
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
you can swear on here. Evie and I did an entire episode recently, and like near the end of it, she was talking about something and she said, "What the hell? Can I swear in here?" And I was like, "Yes, I've said fuck like 4 times
Oh
already."
my god.
So,
Oh my
yeah.
god. I'm about to do the funniest thing ever.
Do it.
Fuck. What's the
I'm
song?
gonna edit in a laugh track. No.
What's the song? Rat shit, bat shit, dirty
Oh,
old
yeah,
dog,
the George
69
Carlin thing.
assholes tied in a knot.
Hooray,
Lizard shit.
shit.
Fuck!
Yeah.
love
Actually,
that
just totally off topic. I saw something about George Carlin yesterday.
Oh my god.
Do you know the song? That was my elbow on the chair. If you heard that weird popping noise.
Okay,
You know
I thought
the
you
song
farted for a minute. And I was about to
No,
be
I'd
like,
be straight
bro.
up if I did. I would apologize, but I'd be like, yeah, I did that. No, you know the song "Self Destruct" by
Yeah.
Kublai Khan. It has like that, like the sample and everything.
Yeah.
That's from a George Carlin, like a rant. I guess it's
Oh.
like a speech he did about like cops and stuff.
He's
which
so
is
real
pretty
for
cool.
that.
Yeah.
He's so real for that. Fuck cops.
Right? Yeah. But yeah, you said your dad played in bands. You a lot of my part of my family is like I'm not as close to them, but part of my family is as well, and I'm like, okay.
Yep.
We
I
never
say that
really
on
talk
behalf
anymore,
of
so.
people who fuck cops, literally.
Go you? Question mark. I don't know.
Fuck cops? Question mark / positive? Question mark.
All right. Anyway, back to music.
Yes.
Yeah. So your dad was in bands. You've been in bands.
Yes.
What are the bands that you've been in?
Oh fuck. I was in Nervous Breakdown. If
Okay.
you know, you know. If you don't know,
That's okay. No.
if you don't know, what's wrong with you? No. Yeah, Nervous Breakdown was a time. I miss it. I filled in for Dirty Band-Aid a couple of times, which was,
Yeah.
it was
was
nice.
a thing.
It was a thing. It was okay. It was nice. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what
I don't
else was
think I saw when you filled in for them.
No.
I remember you being... Well,
yeah.
maybe when you were like... Were you filling in on vocals? Or...
I filled in on bass.
Okay, I didn't
And then
see
sometimes I would scream.
that. I saw that.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I filled in for Kay a couple of times. We did a show in Albany, and my uncle showed up.
Nice.
And it was really fucking funny because my uncle Ted is a bit of a eccentric guy, I guess. I don't know how else to word it. He's funny.
Is that why... Do you get your eccentricity from him while you're wearing sunglasses?
I get it from being
indoors?
autistic.
That's fair.
I
was gonna say, is that why you're wearing sunglasses inside with melting stars? Is it stars?
It's because I wear my sunglasses at night.
Well, thanks for watching. No.
No, probably though.
Yeah.
But I was doing the show and somebody came downstairs and they were like, "Hey, there's this creepy old guy asking to see the hottest person here," and that's Ted's humor. By the way, he's the type of guy to try and get you to drink a Fireball 6 years in a row, and then once you're finally actually legally able to drink alcohol, he'll be like, "You stay away from Fireball," for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
But he was the one who's been like, "Yeah, I'm trying to find the hottest person here," and people were like, "Who's this creepy ass old man trying to hit on me?" And I was like, that immediately as soon as he said that, I was like, "Yep, that's Ted." And I walked upstairs and he's like, "They're not letting me in," and I'm like, "This is my uncle. He's a weirdo. Please let him in."
It's like, yeah, I wonder why they're not letting you in. Ted.
Right? Yeah. I was like, Ted,
Ted, please.
Please. I know it's Albany, but please.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean,
man.
I've seen some things in Albany, but I mean, still, you gotta be, But yeah, so there was Nervous Breakdown. You filled in for Dirty Band-Aid.
I filled in for Dirty Band-Aid. I have done some jam sessions with like just friends from college and stuff. I think those are really the only bands I've actually like been in.
Okay.
Specifically.
Well, so you mentioned before that you've mentioned that you have Makeshift Morgues. Is
Makeshift
that correct?
Morgues. I'm
Okay,
trying to get that
I love
back
that name, by the
together.
way.
I was so excited when I came up
What's
with that. I was like,
what's
genius.
this total side question, but what's the story behind that name? You told me before,
yes.
but it's pretty
so
cool.
Makeshift Morgues. When COVID was like at its peak in 2019, 2020, I saw an article on the news that was talking about how the hospital morgues were so full that they had to go and use freezer trucks, and they created makeshift morgues out of these freezer trucks. And my brain was like, that's a really good band name.
I mean, it's really dark, but it sounds hard as fuck.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And then I'm over here like, oh, what's this makeshift morgue song? I'm a little sad today.
Well, that's actually like a perfect segue into my next question, which is like, what do you normally like? Because you've showed me lyrics before and everything. We've like lyric shared every now and
yes.
then.
Yes.
I showed you the one song about that one person.
Mm-hmm.
I remember
love that
like
one.
walking down the road, like walking down the street with you, and I showed you
Oh,
that.
yeah,
And you
yeah.
got like really hyped. And,
I was
like,
so
stomped
excited.
your feet at
I
one
was
point.
so
Like,
excited.
that was cool.
I straight up another thing
Like, not
about
to make it about me, but I was like, that's a good feeling.
This is the autism kicked in, and I was like, I have to happy stim immediately. But a lot of the stuff that like I write about comes from like weird personal experiences, and a lot of the songs I write about include just like heavy shit. It'll be like, again, I'm a little sad today, but like way darker. So it'll be like, I have a song about eating glass.
I think I remember.
That's not a personal experience, by the way. Don't eat glass.
Don't eat glass.
Don't eat glass. Please don't eat glass. Oh.
But I feel like I remember you either told me about it, like that concept, or showed me something about it.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, I have so I have like heavier songs lyrically, but like sonically and just like musically, I feel like I haven't like fleshed them out at all. beyond lyrics, because I have still been trying to like reach out to people.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's been tough because I'm like, oh, I need a practice space because my basement's fucking disgusting. And they were like, oh, okay, I have a practice space. And I'm like, oh, cool. Are you close by? And he's like, yeah, I live in Appalachian.
I mean, to be fair, it's not too far,
It's
but
not
it
too
is
far,
a
but
bit-
like
it is a little far.
I'm not about to pack my bass and my amp into a car and take it to fucking Appalachian on a
Yeah.
Tuesday night, bro. I'm not doing that.
dude,
Respectfully, fuck that.
No disrespect, because I respect you, but no.
But no.
No, like that reminds me of Guilt and Bloom and like Head Splitter and everything.
Yeah.
And the new band, we have to now it's not so bad, but like we have to, before in Guilt and Bloom, we would either have to go. For me, it wasn't too bad if we practiced at Aaron's house because he was like half an hour away from me.
Yeah.
Now, since I live here, he's an hour away from me.
Oh.
But if we would practice at our old guitarist's house, that was 2 hours away.
Oh.
So, yeah,
fun.
that was fun. And then having to like go up to like when I filled in for Crafter, having to go up to like drive 2 hours, I'm stupid. I would work from like 3 p.m. to midnight.
Yeah.
And then after my shift was over, I would drive 2 hours to Massachusetts just to like get there, and then we'd have like a show or two, and then I'd just go back home, or I'd go there, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not ideal having to drive that far.
Yeah.
We drive an hour for practice now, and I'm like, this isn't bad, but I don't want to
Like-
drive this far.
Could be closer.
Let's just all
like,
get like one big band house.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So
remember,
oh, sorry.
Sorry. No, I remember when a nervous breakdown was a thing. We had all talked about moving into our drummer's house. Like, our drummer got an apartment, and she lived there with her friend, and we were all like, what if we all just live right next to each other? And it was like, yeah, that could be ideal, but also at the time, both of them lived in Endicott, and I work, if you're in the 607 area, I work in fucking, I work up in Shenango Bridge,
Ooh, okay,
which is 20 minutes away from where I am right now.
Yeah.
I am not driving from the bridge to Endicott to the fucking bridge to Johnson City. Like, I'm not doing all that. I can't do that. My car will not let me.
So what would you be doing in like, what are you trying to do in Makeshift Mords? Are you going to be just vocals, or are you going to be bass? Or?
I think depending on who comes in, because my goal is I would really like to work more on vocals, because that's something I personally am very insecure about, and I want to get better at performing vocally in front of people.
That's
And so I think that would be great practice.
That is, yeah. I was going to say that'd be a good way to like get like more comfortable with that and everything.
Yeah,
because I was like super insecure about like singing in front of people and stuff like that. I don't think I could like take a mic and sing like just like this. Like if I'm yelling, I don't care. I'm like, I'll yell and look like an idiot. It's fine. But if I have an instrument in my hand or I'm playing drums or whatever, I'll sing. I don't care.
Yeah.
For the most part. Sometimes I still get like weirded out by it. But
yeah.
For the most part, it's fine. But yeah, so you're like really big into playing bass.
Yeah.
What made, well, you kind of already answered this. I was going to say, what made you want to do bass specifically? But it was mainly like your dad being like...
A lot of it came from my dad. I'd say he's probably the top reason that I have a bass and enjoy bass so much. Something that really pushed me to actually finalize my decision, because I was on the fence about it for a really long time. But something that really pushed me was, and this makes this makes me want to like cringe and die a little bit. Lindsay Way from the band Mindless Self-Indulgence. Anyway, yeah, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Ooh, I could talk a lot about that.
That's another episode.
That's another episode. It's its own entire podcast. No, but that was the first female bassist or like really female musician I had found on my own that wasn't inspired by my dad, which really says a lot about the band, because they were like, oh yeah, here's this weird music. Let's project it onto teen girls.
Yeah.
Let's project this weird music onto children. And I'm like,
I remember like listening to Mindless Self-Indulgence when I was like in high school, and I was like just getting into music really, and I was like, this is cool.
Yeah.
And looking back, I'm like, their songs are fucking weird.
Dude, yeah. Oh my god. I remember I was in college and I was like still really big into MSI, and I was trying to show my friend one of their songs, and oh my fucking god, what was it? I don't even remember. I can hardly remember them now, but it was like every other word was a slur.
Oh,
and I'm like
yikes.
sitting there and I'm like, okay, I'm going to turn this down because there's other people here. And I just wanted to show, I was like, hey, dude, check out this band. They make funky electronic fuck up music.
Yeah.
And then it was like,
Slur,
beep,
slur, slur,
beep,
slur.
beep,
Yeah.
beep, stupid, beep, mother, beep. And I'm like, oh, God, there's people here. Oh, racism. And I'm like, oh. It made me...
That reminds me of...
It really shocked me into
yeah.
being like, okay, we're going to stop.
Yeah.
Because I can't listen to this in public. That means I
Yeah.
shouldn't be listening to it at all.
I remember when I was younger, I had some friends that, at the time, they were like, I don't know the term, I guess like hooligans. I don't know. They got in trouble, whatever.
It's so... We should bring that term back. Hooligans. I'm going to
Hooligan?
start using
Hoodlum?
that. Hoodlums. Hooligans and hoodlums. I'm going to start using those on my students.
Or-
I'm like, why are
okay.
you being such a little hooligan?
Is hooligan or hoodlum offensive? I don't know. And now I'm too
I
scared
don't
to...
know. I think
if it
hoodlum...
is, I'm sorry.
I
I'm
feel
an
like-
ignorant person. I
Right,
don't
yeah.
know.
I feel like hoodlum could be.
Because there was one guy that used to call me hoodlum when I was like in middle school,
Yeah.
high school.
Yeah.
He wasn't like being mean. He was a friend of mine. And he
Yeah.
was just like, hoodlum, what are you doing? I'm
Yeah,
just like, I'm
I-
sitting at the park bench. I'm
sitting at the
gonna go
park-
skateboard soon. And so he just kind of started calling me hoodlum.
Hey,
But I
dude,
remember,
you want to go skateboards?
But yeah, there was I had some friends that they kind of got in trouble a lot.
Yeah.
I would hang out with them because they were fun, but I also was like really nervous to hang out with them because
Yeah.
I was like, I was like a super pansy in like growing up.
Oh my God, you're so me.
Like I've stolen once in my life and it was against my will.
Damn.
I'm not gonna say his name, but my brother's friend made me go into my mom's purse and steal a bunch of cigarettes while she was in the shower. Like he made me do it.
Oh no.
And then he got them, and then he made me go outside with him while he smoked them, and he just like made me sit with him for some reason. I don't know why that would help.
I don't want to do it alone, man.
He's like, dude, I'm scared. I'm like, I just took him anyway.
So
But yeah,
good.
so like we would be walking down the street at one point, and for whatever reason, this was before like iPods and stuff like that. So I remember like I had like a boombox that I would put in my backpack. And I'd put batteries in it, and I would just like go up to my friend's house riding my bike, and I just put my boombox in my backpack, and
Oh
that's
my
how I would
gosh.
listen to music, like going to my friend's house. But she was
my
doing
God.
something similar. It was like me, her, and like one or two other people walking down the street, listening to what's the name of that one song by Limp Bizkit?
Oh my
where he just
God.
says "fuck" every other word.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't remember what it is, but I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
I can't
yeah.
remember the name of it, but yeah, that reminds me of that.
That's so real.
Yeah.
I think the only time I'd ever actually like stolen something was my friend was gonna buy a pin from a store, and he was like, dude, I'm not doing this. And I'm like, okay, fine. So he hands it to me. Like he literally walks away and then comes back and hands me the pin, and I thought that he already bought it.
Oh. Okay.
So I'm like, oh, cool, a pin. So I put it on, and then we leave. And he goes, so how do you feel? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he goes, you just stole from that store. And I'm like, I stopped in my tracks, and I was like, what the fuck did you make me steal? What did you put
no.
in my bag? And he goes, no, the pin that you're wearing. And I'm like, you didn't fucking buy this? And he's like, it's a little piece of metal for like $2. And I'm like, oh my God.
It doesn't matter.
I'm like, if you can't afford a $2 pin,
Just don't get it.
just don't get it.
Unless it's Walmart. Steal
Unless
from Walmart.
fucking steal from Walmart and Hobby
fuck
Lobby.
Walmart.
If you live
Yeah,
near a
fuck
Hobby
Hobby
Lobby,
Lobby.
egg them.
Fuck them.
Fuck. Fuck.
But you need to hear me.
Guys, fuck them.
There was a time I was younger, and my brother and I would go to the pool in Sydney. That's where just like everybody hung out at the pool. We'd walk from our house, which I don't know how long it was, but it was a long walk. Mm-hmm. And there was one of his friends that went there. My brother had a lot of bad friends when I was younger. Looking back, I'm like, yeah, they weren't. I mean, he doesn't talk to me anymore,
yeah.
but I'm just like, they weren't the greatest people for a young, impressionable child to be around.
God, you're like, we had the same childhood. Damn.
But like, we went to so there's a pool up here. You go down a hill, and then
Yeah.
there's a gas station.
Oh.
Also, side thing, there was a drive-through pizza place, which was the first time I ever saw that.
Oh my fucking God.
And now it's a smoke shop.
That's
They
making me
sell
think of the
cigarettes.
Marabato. How there's like a
Yeah, it
drive-through
was a Marabato that we would go to.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
when I
but-
found out that Marabatos could be drive-throughs, I lost my shit. Like the new one, I was
Yeah.
like, dude.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my God.
the drive-through bakery.
That
yeah.
I was like, dude, fucking, oh my God, we had the technology, the future.
But yeah, I remember being with one of my brother's friends. He wanted to go down to the store to get something, and then this was back when they sold like Playboys and stuff in gas stations.
Yeah.
So he had this whole plan. He's like, I'm going to steal a nudie mag. And so we were outside the store.
Just go into your dad's closet. You'll find one.
Yeah, honestly, knowing him, I'm sure he did.
Oh, no.
But I didn't want to do it. But he did, and I was like, I'm too young and like scared to do anything. I'm like, I don't know what to do or say.
Yeah.
And so I remember he made this whole plan where he was like, I'm going to go in and I'm going to put it in my shirt. And, he had like a whole thing planned. He's going to be like, I'm going to ask like if you have money for it. And you got to say no. Or something. Like it was like really like thought out.
He was really hatching this.
He really was.
Damn.
But like it was really thought out. And then when the time came, he put it in his shirt. And I remember him looking at me being like, you got the money? I don't have any money. Do you have money? And I was like, I already forgot what to do. So I'm outside just like, what? I like wasn't saying anything, but I was just like, what do I do? He couldn't move without it like making a sound and everything, so he didn't end up stealing it, thankfully. But
God.
yeah,
That's was awesome.
That was a whole thing.
Oh man.
So that's fun. So there's people obviously that you mentioned and like bands that you mentioned that were like big inspirations for you
yeah.
for bass and music and everything. Have you got to see any of those like any
yes.
of the inspirations? Okay, cool.
Oh my god.
Yes.
A huge musical inspiration of mine was Lunatics, and still is. I love them to death. Lunatics with Theo Kogan, Sydney Silver, Gina Volpe, and then, oh my god, Chip English. Oh my god, I love them so much. They're a Riot Girl band from New York City, and they disbanded in 2000.
Nice.
And
not nice. Sorry.
They came back in like 2020. Okay. Maybe a little bit. They're
Riot Girl band. Yes.
They're a Riot Girl band, and they were a huge inspiration for me. I discovered them in like 2015-ish, and I had wanted to see them for so long, and I was like, dude, I wish they would get back together. And then they did, and I saw them night 2 of their comeback shows at Webster Hall.
Nice.
I was front and center. I got to like have a whole conversation with Theo Kogan while she was on stage. I lost my shit. They recently put out a documentary.
Okay.
And I was watching it, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, that looks like the show I was at. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, oh my God, that's
Gia.
me.
There's Gia.
There is a close-up shot of me going like this at a fucking Lunatics show in a documentary that is now in a top 5 for an award.
That's sick.
In a festival.
That's sick.
Oh my God. I think about that. I literally texted my dad my email and password onto the documentary site because you have to pay to watch it. And I was like, I'm not going to make you pay $15 to watch a fucking documentary with my face in it for like 5 minutes. I'll pay for it, and then I'll send you my login info in the website. Go ahead and watch it. You have 2 days. Oh, knowing that this band that is a band I've looked up to for so many years, and I look at Theo Kogan is my god. But knowing that like now I'm in that documentary and I'm like officially in a small way part of that Riot Girl history means the world to me. That's like sick. I got to experience that, and this guy literally had this big ass camera and he's going and zooming in on me, and I'm like, this dude has a camera, like a TV type thing. What the fuck are they doing? Like, yeah. I knew it. I was like, they're filming a documentary. When is it coming out? And then like 2 years later, they're like, by the way, we're filming a documentary. And I'm like, oh my God.
That's like, that's awesome. That reminds me of, were you around when, like during the Spring Flings at BU?
Ooh, I don't know.
I remember one year Yellow Card played.
Oh my
which
God.
was pretty sick.
I've heard about, no, I was not around, but I've heard so many stories about the Spring Flings.
Well, so the Spring Fling, it was very cool, but I remember Tyler and I went, because we both love Yellow Card. And we were up in the front, but before Yellow Card played, there was a group called Super Smash Brothers, I think.
Oh.
Or Super Mash Bros. Is what it is. It was like a DJ
cool.
set. It was cool. It was like a DJ dubstep thing. It was cool, but it got like not as fun after the first like half hour, 45 minutes of it. And then I was just like, okay, I mean, like I get it, it's cool, but like, it's kind of the same thing. But there was people with cameras, and like every now and then they would like pan from like one side of the audience over to the other side in the front. And when they did that, Tyler and I would just stand there like it's really stupid. When they would come near us, we'd see them doing it. We'd just stand there like And at one point, I don't know why, but like I think we were just like screaming. Like
You're
when they would go
so
by,
real.
they'd go by, and everyone's
Yeah.
like, they were like, "Hey, go crazy!" And we'd start screaming or whatever. And at one point, I think we were just like, ah, like
Oh
not
my
excited
God.
screaming, just like screaming for fun to be funny. And then at one point,
I'm afraid.
yeah, I'm scared. No,
Mom, come pick me up.
At one point, he like brought the camera out when like we were doing that, and then I was screaming, and he just like was going by, and then zoomed right in on my face, like went right up to it, and I just did that.
That's
but yeah,
so funny.
but that's
I
yeah,
love that
that's-
shit. I love whenever there's cameras and I'm like, oh my god, I can make a fool of myself and people can see it.
It's like, oh my god, it's okay.
I'm like, hindsight's gonna kick in about 3 years later and I'm
Yeah.
gonna cringe at myself. But you know what? I live in the moment. There's a camera. I'm gonna go.
Yeah. I think Evie's on.
Oh my god.
Evie? Is my house getting robbed?
Someone just walks in, they take the camera and leave.
Fuck you, buddy.
We're like, hey, we're doing a show here. Does it look like I give a fuck?
Bro, I'm just trying to steal your stuff. Anyway.
Oh, special guest,
go
the
ahead,
robber.
So you were talking about that documentary. I saw you posting about that, which my questions are going to get a little out of order real quick, but that's
Okay.
fine. I can come back to it. So I saw you posting about that thing and everything, and that brings me to my next question. My next question is, women? No, really. You're posting.
Fuck.
You post a lot about like you've been posting a lot about like one specific person from like a Broadway play or something like that.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my
Okay,
god!
yeah,
I
I'm
get
just
to
gonna
talk
talk
about. I
about
get
that
to
for-
talk about Mizu.
I'll let you talk
Oh
about
my
that.
god! Oh my god! Okay, if you didn't know, there is this theater troupe in Japan, and the theater is called Takarazuka Theater, and the troupe is Takarazuka Theater Troupe. There's like several different troupes in there, and like I don't have. If we had like 8 years, I would explain so much of Japanese musical theater to you because, oh my god, it's gay as hell. But there is this one.
She's gay. She can say that.
Yes, sorry.
Just to clarify
Hi.
for context.
I am big old lesbian. Hello, any ladies?
You're bound to find somebody on this silly, goofy podcast.
Oh my god, I'm gonna get like 3 DMs, be like, so
So, women.
50-year-old Japanese women, huh? Can you be like,
So
yeah.
it's a musical? Or
Yes.
something? Okay.
So Mizu is this actress from Takarazuka, and she's now retired from the company. But she was in this play, this musical called Elizabeth, the Rondo of Love and Death, and that is a musical about. Which I can segue into another one of my special interests. That's a musical about the Empress of Austria and her quote-unquote relationship with the personification of death, in which Mizu plays said personification of death.
I'm afraid now.
It's really insane. It's truly...
She has talked to me about this before, like, in depth, and I'm like, this sounds awesome, but like, I don't know anything about it, but I know you're having a good time and you're having fun, so I'm gonna let you go.
have a great time. No, but this musical is basically follows the story of Elizabeth and her sort of suicidal ideation and near-death experiences that get personified in this actress Mizu, and I need everybody, if you're watching and you like women to any capacity, please Google Mizu.
I'll try to put like a video.
Yes.
Here of
Mizu Natsuki. Mizu Natsuki. Oh my god, she's so hot. I don't know how else to end this. I love her. She was in a bunch of different Takarazuka plays. She is a otoyaku, I think is what they're called, which means, like, if you've watched any or heard of, like, any Shakespeare plays, a lot of the men can be played by women, and that's basically what she does.
I remember you showing me something about that. You showed me
Yeah.
a picture of one guy that was playing a woman, and you were like, look at this.
Yes.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Like,
Look
nice.
at my son. But she's done a lot of like, if you like women in suits, this is like the company for you. Takarazuka, wonderful company. I love all of the plays they put on. And I've been following like Mizu in her endeavors recently.
Her name is Mizu?
Mizu, and which is the Japanese word for water. Fun little lesson there.
I learned something.
That's
today.
the first word I learned on Duolingo, which is really funny because I was already obsessed with Mizu at the time and knew that meant water. So when I opened Duolingo to learn Japanese, and it was like Mizu, and I was like,
you were like, does that stand for love of my life? No.
Right? I was like, oh my god, they know me.
That's funny. All right, well, so Mizu. That kind of brings me into my next question. All right. Picture this.
All right.
You're at home relaxing.
Yes.
You hear a knock at the door.
Okay.
Get up to answer it. Mm-hmm. It's Mizu.
Oh my god.
What do you do?
I start crying. I literally don't think I'd be able to like actually.
Would you be able to like formulate a sentence?
I don't think so. I think I might accidentally slam the door in her face.
Oh my god.
I would open the door, scream, slam the door, open it again, scream, start sobbing, fall to her feet.
Start kissing her feet. Be like, I worship the ground you walk on.
Be like, ma'am, oh my god. First, I'd be like, how'd you get here?
Yeah, first things first. I want to know how she found my address.
I'd be like, ma'am. Oh, fuck. I forgot how to say, do you speak English and Japanese? I don't know. I'd be like, do you speak... I would...
You'd get Duolingo out.
I'd get Duolingo out. I'd be like, American? And she'd be like, Nihonjin. American means American. So I'd find a way to be like, I don't know how to say, do you speak... Fuck. I don't know. I'd be like, do you speak American? And she'd probably be like, yeah, Nihonjin.
She'd say... No.
She'd be like, yeah. And I'd be like, shit, fuck, damn it. Mizu, please. I need to communicate with you.
All right, so next question. Same question, but with grimace. You're at home, relaxing. You're just sitting on the couch. You hear a knock at the door. You open the door. It's grimace. What do you do?
Make out with her. No, I would lose my mind. I straight up don't think I'd be able to talk. I would just stare at him uncomfortably until he left.
No, you would just see him.
I'd be like,
stare.
oh, fuck it, grimace!
Yeah,
and then just like...
All right, so who would win in a fight? Mizu or grimace?
Shit.
We need you to really dig deep on this one.
Oh, this is hard. Because grimace is like...
Grimace has like the height advantage
yeah.
and size advantage.
And he's
a big lad.
He's also technically evil.
That's true.
He's also technically evil. Evil grimace is a thing.
Yeah, we started talking about that a little bit on stream at one point. Mm-hmm. You were because I was playing.
Oh
when
yeah,
the Grimace Shake came out.
Yo, the Grimace game.
I was just playing like random Grimace horror games.
Yeah, and then we were looking it up, and it was like evil Grimace, and you were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, didn't he have like 2 extra arms? Or
yes.
like that?
Oh my god, Grimace used to have 4 arms and be called Evil Grimace, and he was like darker purple than he is now.
Wasn't he supposed to like also like his thing was he was supposed to steal the Shamrock shakes? I think.
Yes,
right?
yeah, that's why he exists. The only reason Grimace exists is because of the fucking Shamrock Shake. So that's insane.
So
my
wild.
dad loves the Shamrock Shake, and
It's
so
good.
I feel like I should tell him that every time he goes to get a Shamrock Shake, I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, you need to go and pay Grimace, Grimace tax."
Yeah, you gotta
Shamrock
pay the,
Shake.
You gotta pay the Grimace tax.
You gotta pay the Grimace tax. Yeah, I think in a fight, I feel like Grimace could probably fucking eat Mizu whole.
Yeah, honestly,
which is so scary to me. But I also feel like Mizu's
I feel
strong
like
as
would
fuck.
die a warrior's death.
She would die a warrior's death. Like, she's strong as fuck.
She would just embrace it at
She
that
could
point.
fold
'cause
him
she
in
has
half.
She has the
she would.
death ideation or whatever, so...
She'd be like, oh my god,
"Take me,
fucking
Grimace."
finally. It's time for me to ascend and truly become what I was meant to become.
She becomes a part of Grimace. It's like Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's Grimace. It's like...
I thought you said Gru.
Oh.
And I was like, Gru.
Imagine like a Grimace, but in Gru. He's like
Girls.
oh shit, it's Grimace!
Oh shit, it's Grimace.
I don't know if that's a big
Oh
Gru
fuck,
impression.
it's Grimace. Girls, where is my Shamrock?
In terms of Grimace shakes, we have no Grimace shakes.
You're going to steal the shakes.
Is your Instagram name still Grimace?
No.
Okay.
I think my name actually might still be Oh Fuck It Grimace, but I think like my username is still Panic Switch.
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant. Your username.
Yeah.
So that kind of leads me into I don't know why I was just like thinking of things to like ask about, and one thing I wrote down was that your Instagram is like very aesthetically pleasing.
Yes.
Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it just looks cool. Like, what made you start doing that? It's interesting.
When I first got Instagram, I got Instagram when I was like 15 in high school, and I remember specifically being in my English class freshman year, and I had gotten Instagram, and my friend was like, my mom won't let me get Instagram. And I'm like, just get it in secret. That's what I did. And she's like, I don't think you have a healthy relationship with your parents. And I'm like, you're right, I don't. No, but I got it, and I would just post whatever the fuck I wanted.
Oh, same, yeah.
And it was just a way for me to like info dump and like ADHD stuff. And
nowadays that's called a Finsta, right?
Yeah.
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 I used to have a Finsta.
I think I still have my Finsta. I don't use it though. Like I hardly ever. Like I made it private, and I'm like, I don't.
If there's anything that I want to talk about, I'm just gonna post on.
Right. I'm like that's not a Finsta anymore. That's my vent account where I post about being gay and sad. But I just posted whatever I wanted, and then as I got older, I was like, I really don't like the way it looks because it looks so messy. Like in my brain, I was like, I can't formulate a thought looking at this. Like it gives me anxiety, like a messy room, and I feel the need to clean it, but I'm not going to do anything about it. So I was like, I know what I'll do. I'll make it look pretty.
Yeah.
And so I started posting like songs that I liked, and then I would make the post, and then I'd post the song that I like.
Okay, that makes sense.
And it went in like a little pattern, and then I fucked up the pattern, and I was like, fuck, okay, let me try again. And then my account got hacked, and I was like, fuck. So then and then I had to make a new account.
Where did the name Cryform come from?
It's a Mother song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's like my favorite Mother song on top of All the Dying, which when I saw Mother for the second time, they played it acoustically, and I was like, I sobbed my eyes out. And I was like, oh my fucking God, I cannot believe you just played my favorite song ever, like right off the bat. Can we please, make that the whole set list?
Yeah, just that song like 8 times. What's an ideal set list length for you?
Ooh.
Like so how many songs should like a local band have, and then like a bigger band, like a national act kind of thing? Because this has kind of been like a big debate for a while.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good question.
I kind of already have mine.
Yeah. I think for like a larger band, and I'm spoiled because I got to go and see My Chemical Romance and Fall Out Boy, so their set lists were like insane, and they change all the time. Mm-hmm. So for Fall Out Boy, the set list was like 2 fucking hours, because they play like their entire discography, and I'm like, if you don't like Fall Out Boy and it's not your cup of tea, and you don't want to sit in the rain for like 2 hours, it's then be like, yeah, okay. No.
We did that, but for Ghost. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we saw Ghost a few months ago.
God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, Evie and I and Gia and a few other friends went and saw Ghost. We were super excited about it, and then it rained the whole time.
Yeah. I had fun, but I was like...
it was still a great time.
Like, I came back, and I'm like, my socks are wet.
Yeah.
I was so sad, my socks. Yeah. And then I never got my fucking blanket.
Wait, what?
I was supposed to get.
A blanket
I bought a blanket, and then I went over, and I was like, "Hey, I bought a blanket. Yeah. Where do I get them?" And the guy was like, "You're supposed to go over that way." And I went over, and they were like, "We're out of blankets." No. It was so weird. They were like, "We don't have any more." And I'm like, "What the fuck do you mean? I bought a blanket. You're not gonna put the blanket that I paid money for on reserve?" I'm sorry. Like, I paid you however much fucking money it was.
Too much money for a
too much money for a blanket. But like,
I paid $20 to get chairs.
Right.
And we couldn't even sit in them because it was raining and they were soaked.
It was ridiculous.
But we got to see Monomarth and Ghost, so that was pretty sick.
I had a lot of fun. Yeah.
I got to dance. Evie and I were like dancing during.
That was so cute. That was so cute. I was like, oh my God, my parents. I got to do this shit.
Yeah, you were
voguing. In God you trust, my mommy dust.
What I don't remember what song it was. So you and I went down to the front, like as close as we could get, because there's like there's like the big lawn.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Hold on.
Oh.
Sorry, my computer like shut off randomly. But yeah, so like there's the big lawn, and then you can go down a bit, and there's like a fence kind of thing, like a gate you can kind of like lean against and everything. Mm-hmm. And a bunch of us were down there for a while. Some of us went back up the hill to like stand by our stuff and everything. But Gia and I were down at the front. I don't know what happened or what song was playing, but like Papa said something or like the band did something.
Oh yeah.
And then it got quiet, like as they like finished doing it, and Gia just goes, "Shut the fuck up!" Like you got really excited about something,
yeah.
And then you said that.
Oh my
and then,
God.
Like, put your head down in shame.
Oh my God, I don't even remember. But you're right. I do.
So
I remember
like,
specifically. Yeah, I was so. Oh my God, it was like a song that I really wanted to hear. and they did it, and I was like, oh my god, shut the fuck up, and it was
Yeah.
like so funny. Like they started, and I was like, dude.
But like they started, and you said that in like the perfect time where there was a pause where everybody.
Everyone was so quiet. That reminds me of when I saw Paramore. There was they were getting ready to play 26, and if you don't know what 26 is, it's the saddest fucking song you'll ever hear.
I don't know if I know that one that well.
It's so good. It's on the After Laughter album, and it's
I never really listened to that album that much.
explains
I know I
it.
should have, but
it's very fun.
it's a good. I did listen to it eventually. It's a good album, but that was also after a breakup.
Yes.
Like my biggest breakup.
Yeah.
and-
Oh my god, no, same.
You know
dude.
what I mean?
So
It was just raw.
Paramore make the perfect albums for the perfect time. They'll be like, "Oh my God, Hayley Williams just got divorced from like a 2-year marriage, and her
That
husband
piece of
was
shit.
shitty." And I'm like, "Oh
How
my
do you
God,
cheat on Hayley
how
Williams?
the fuck do you cheat on Hayley Williams?" Chad Gilbert,
I just want to talk.
what is fucking wrong with you? And then he's now married to one of the fucking, oh my God, one of the sisters from that. Oh my God, what the fuck is her name? I can't remember her name.
I don't know, but I know that it's
But
not
like
Hayley
now,
Williams.
yeah, yep. Haley, if you're watching this, by the way, can Taylor York fight? Can your boyfriend fight?
You sent me a video at one point. I think it was something about Hayley Williams, and you were just like, "I hope Taylor can fight." 'cause
I
I'm
really
about
hope
ready to throw
Taylor York
hands."
can fight, because if I meet him in the street, I'm gonna throw hands respectfully, because Taylor York, you are so amazing and I love you very much. This is not a diss at you, but I'm gay and I love your girlfriend. I'm saying this like he's sitting here like,
If Taylor York ever listens to this podcast, I'll know that I made it. I'll know that it's good.
Taylor York be like, "Oh my God, Haley, look at this lesbian." And she could be like, "Thanks."
Oh my god. Anyway, okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
I don't really have a good segue into my next question, but it's not about women.
Okay. All right. Damn.
Sorry. No. So you and Travis and Evie and I, we've talked about paranormal stuff before. You've shared a few paranormal stories that you have, right?
Yes.
Could you share any? Like, is there like a specific one that comes to mind that you
Ooh.
want to share?
Okay, so whenever I get asked about paranormal stuff, my favorite, my go-to is to talk about Caroline. And Caroline is this spirit that has attached itself to me, sort of vicariously through my mother. But I used to live in Ohio, and in the house I lived in, it was like over 100 years old, and it was, it was very nice, but it was always kind of weird. Like, weird stuff would happen to us. Mostly it was just we would set something down, it would go missing, and then a couple hours later it would show up somewhere else. And a lot of the time, like, my stepmom's like, "You all have ADHD, you just misplaced it." And I'm like, no.
First off, you're right, but still.
First off, you're right, but also...
It's like the John Mulaney bit. It's like, we know, but
we
hey.
know, but... Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
But... like, stuff would go missing, and we'd be like, "Where the fuck is this thing?" And my mom would be like, jokingly be like, "Oh, that's just Caroline. She's our poltergeist," because my mom had an interesting sense of humor sometimes, and she would make jokes like that. And then stuff started, like, getting weirder. It would be like, it would just happen more often than when my mom would talk about it, it would keep going. So, like, it wouldn't be just, like, a one-time thing. It would be, like, this specific thing that we were talking about in regards to Caroline would go missing. We'd be like, "Oh, don't put that down. Caroline will get it." And then Caroline would fucking get it. And after my mom passed, it would, like, I had this dream about this little girl. And it was so vivid. I could still remember it in, like, full detail. I used to go to the school called Van Cortlandville. And I remember in my dream I was standing there, and there was this little girl, and she was in front of me, and she goes, "Hey, follow me." And so I'm following her through, like, the playground to my school and
That sounds
stuff.
promising.
Right? Yeah. I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll follow this child."
That doesn't sound like the beginning of every horror movie ever made.
Right? Yeah. And I think that also, like, it was really funny. I'm following this little kid through a school, and now I work with little kids at the school. Like, okay, great.
You came full circle.
I came full circle. What happened?
That little kid was you.
That
from the past. No.
This is what you turned into in the future. But, she was sitting there, and she's, like, picking flowers, and I'm asking her all these questions. She's answering me, and I'm like, "Hey, just shooting my shot. Are you Caroline?" And she goes, "Yeah, but I don't normally use that name." And I'm like, "Okay." Really weird specific answer. "What name do you use?" And she goes, "I can't tell you. You won't understand it." I'm like, okay, super fucked up and weird. Great. Red flags are going off in my head. I'm like, this is not a
Real.
normal answer to like, I'm like, okay, sure, my brain's fucking with me. So I start asking like, ghostly questions like, oh, are you a nice spirit? Are you here to hurt me? Are you going to kill my family while I sleep? Like, And so I asked her, I'm like, oh, are you like actually a little girl? Because when I read somewhere that was like, oh, if the spirit shows up as like a child or somebody old, that means that like they're probably not that nice and they're just trying to get you to trust them. And she's like, I'm not actually a kid. I'm very, very old. And I was like, okay, great. Did you die in my house? And she goes, And I'm like,
Yeesh.
what? Because normally I think if somebody's selling you a house, they have to tell you if somebody died there. But apparently not.
I was gonna say I don't think they really do, and well, maybe not.
I think if there's a
I feel
murder
like for a while they. Oh yeah.
If there's a murder in the house before you buy it,
I feel like they like
the
have,
realtors
like,
are obligated to tell you.
obligated,
Contractually obligated.
I was like contractual.
Yep, they're controlling.
Contractually. Sorry.
I almost said conceptually, and I'm like, that's not right.
That's not how that works.
But I was like, oh, okay, so like you were here, and then all this stuff happened, and my next question was, are you like evil? And she goes, oh yeah, no, I'm fucked up.
Oh my god.
Right? I was like, they're not gonna, like, why would you admit to that? But sure. And I was like, oh, are you gonna hurt me? And she goes, no, you guys are funny. I'm gonna keep you. And I was like, okay, cool. Thank you, Caroline. Right? I was like, you're gonna keep us? Okay. Great. And I'm like, okay, so like why are you like here with us? And she goes, well, I really like the way your mom does stuff. Like, I like your mom and I think she's great. So I'm sticking with her. And I was like, okay, cool. Why did you go from my mom to me? And she goes, because your mom really likes you. And I was like, oh, aw, thanks. And then I woke up and I was like, it was like, done, ended.
Your mom really likes you. I'm awake.
Right? Yeah, it was so weird. It was so jarring. And I woke up and there was a pendant, a ceramic pendant, and it said "love you" on it. I had never fucking seen that pendant before, ever in my life. And I asked my entire family. I was like, have you seen this? Do you know what this is? And they're like, where the fuck did you get that? And I'm like, it showed up on my bedside table after I had a weird dream about the ghost in our house.
That's creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had anything like that extreme.
Yep.
That's pretty wild.
Oh yeah, and Caroline has followed me from house to house. So I have moved I've moved a fuck ton in my life, but when I lived in Ohio, I moved here, and then I moved houses like 4 times while living here. And she followed me to each place. And she interacts with my family still, and she interacts with me a lot. And there was a time where I had to like set a boundary, and I'm like so bad at setting boundaries. But I'll talk to Caroline like she's like right next to me.
I don't like confrontation and setting boundaries with people, but a ghost.
I am so off. Right. I'm like, do not make me get the fucking salt, bitch.
I respect ghosts. Please don't haunt me.
But she started like interacting with my students, and this was when I worked with kindergartners. Yeah. And now I don't work with kindergartners, but when I worked with kindergartners, she started taking their stuff because she followed me to work. And I was like, girl, do not ever.
Yeah, this is going to have to be a boundary.
Yeah, I was like, if you ever touch my fucking students or their things again, I am calling a priest. Yeah. And I am not fucking religious.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. I would probably, in a situation like that, I would probably feel the need to do the same.
Right? Yeah. And I was at a house party once, and I was talking about Caroline, and she made her presence known, because whenever I talk about her, she likes to show up and fuck around. She made her presence known because she stole somebody's glass of wine and moved it from, like, they had this glass, and they set it on the stairs. For some reason, I don't know. I'm like, okay, set your glass of wine where foot traffic happens. That's smart. But they set it on the stairs, and I was like, okay, cool. And then when we talk about Caroline, then like maybe 20 minutes pass, and they go back to get the glass of wine, and nobody had been in that area for like the entire 20 minutes we were talking. And she comes back and she goes, hey, has anybody moved my glass? And we were all like, no. And she goes, what the fuck do you mean? Caroline is fucking with me. And I was like, you're joking.
Oh, geez.
I was like, you're kidding right now.
That's just a drunk prank. No.
Right? Yeah. I was like, you're you're kidding. Like, Caroline, what? And she's like looking all over the place for this glass of wine. And we cannot find it literally anywhere. It shows up in the fucking bathroom.
I thought you were going to say freezer or something.
In the freezer? I wish.
I mean, that bathroom's also weird.
Right? The freezer would make more sense because let me return it to the kitchen. But no, she's like, I'm going to dump this fucking wine down the toilet.
Put this
like
in the most unhygienic place in the house.
It was so weird. She was like, yeah, I found it in the bathroom on the sink. And we were like, what the fuck?
I found it in the, what's that thing at the top of the toilet?
Oh my God. Oh yeah, we found it in the tank of the toilet.
Yeah, the tank.
Like, it was so weird. And I was like, okay, that's another boundary. Unless my friends are specifically asking for you to fuck with them, don't fuck with them.
Yeah. Do you think there's a chance that maybe somebody might have taken it
I
and moved
think
it?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I think possibly somebody could have like been like, this is going to be so fucking funny later.
I made the joke before being like, it was a drunk prank.
It was,
like,
I think somebody was probably pranking, but it was so jarring that it was like, oh yeah, we're talking about Caroline, and all of a sudden, boom, nobody's been by the stairs, and your wine is gone. Like, okay, great, awesome, good to know that my ghost likes to fucking drink. It's like, I haven't had wine.
It's hard here in the afterlife, okay?
I haven't had wine in ages.
I try to drink it, it just goes through me.
Literally, like, I can't hold the glass.
Joke. Do you get it? Okay.
Damn.
Well, honestly, I think that was my last question that I had. So, I'm gonna wrap it up here, but it's my chair. If you've seen me like moving a bunch, it's because of that. My chair is hitting the wall and it's making a squeaking noise.
Guys, it's actually a fart. He's shitting.
Shit and fart.
Shitted and farted.
But no, Gia, thank you for being here.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for hopping on. If you want to plug anything you have, like where people can find you, any music or anything you're doing, really, if you want to plug, now's the time.
You can find me on Instagram at Panic Switch, PAN1C _ SW1CTH.
She puts the ones in there because it's
I'm so edgy. No, it's because Panic Switch was taken.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Side thing. Yeah. Okay, I'm very proud of my Instagram name, my handle. It's Johnstipated. It's a poop joke. I think it's hilarious. I tried like 7 different variations of Johnstipated on my PlayStation recently. They were all taken, and I was like, how many other fucking people have made the joke Johnstipated? This is bullshit. But I got it eventually. But
oh my God.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, Panic Switch.
Yes.
Does Makeshift Morgues have an Instagram?
Makeshift Morgues does have an Instagram. I believe it is makeshift.morgues, but it might be makeshift_morgues.
I think it's in your bio.
It is in my bio on Panic Switch. So if you check me out there, you can also check that out. You will see 2 advertisements of, hey, we're looking for musicians. And if anybody
wants to play music,
you can DM me and I will be like, absolutely, and then nothing will progress because I am so bad at following up with people because I have ADHD.
Have you had people like? Well, I think you mentioned that you had people like in different towns.
I did. I've had people ask me. They're like, oh, I primarily would love for Makeshift Morgues to be more Riot Girl, so I'm hoping for more female members or like AFAB members. Yeah. A lot of what I get is men being like, I could play guitar, and I'm like,
of course you can.
I'm like, yeah, okay, dude. I have gotten literally
I play guitar clearly.
Like, I shit you not, I have legitimately only ever gotten one message from someone being like, I play drums.
Oh, okay.
I've only ever had one drummer, and I think like 2 people have been like, I play bass and guitar, but more so guitar. So if you're looking for a guitarist, I'm like, dude, you look like you're in high school and that you're failing geometry. Go study.
That's oddly specific.
I don't know. Like,
a lot of look at somebody and be like, you look like this.
Right? Yeah. No, I'm like, you look like you are straight up not studying for your finals. You look like you order pizza every day. When
I first saw Post Malone, I love Post.
Oh my God.
I love Post Malone. But when I first saw him, I was like, he looks like he forgot how to get dressed.
He looks like he forgot. That's so real.
Mean and bad and dumb. But Posty, I love you. You look great now. I mean, you looked great then. I was just trying to be funny. But yeah.
Damn.
This has been Gia.
Fucking love you, Posty.
Thank you. Love you, Posty. Come on the pod. Come on the pod sometime. Yeah, thank you for being here. Thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, of course.
Do all the shit. Do the follow on Snap. No, not Snap. Spotify.
Follow me on Spotify. My username is B emoji.
My username is the B movie is the greatest movie ever made. No, I don't even know what my name on Spotify
My
is.
username is.
How do you spell that?
Oh, simple. You just go. And also, don't forget the asterisk.
My username is.
My username is fuck. I can't remember.
No, what's the thing from the Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl thing that Key and Peele did?
Oh fuck!
It's like a bunch of different football players,
Yeah.
and they all have like more progressively weird names. And then one person's name, it's just asterisk construction noise asterisk.
I love that shit. Oh my god.
But yes,
I'm trying to
follow
remember.
on Spotify. That's what it is.
I can't
We
remember
have
the
an Instagram.
fucking
Follow
B
that.
movie.
On YouTube. Subscribe, whatever. Do the things. Just listen to it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Whatever you want to do. But we're gonna go now.
You should listen. You should
we've
listen
done
to
this
it.
Outro. This is the third time we've done this outro, so we're really gonna go now.
Goodbye.
Okay. Thanks for watching and/or listening. Okay. Bye.
Goodbye.
See you later.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Get the fuck out of here.